Hello everyone, this is Astro Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a pick a card for what gifts you have coming in December. So we have 3 piles. This is going to be pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So pick the card that you feel most drawn to, and we're going to get started with pile number 1. Okay, so pile number 1, first up we have Stasis. So I'm hearing eyes wide open. I'm getting the energy of reaching out, expansion, like you have a vision that you're set on and you're branching out towards it. I'm hearing it feels like your purpose, feels like a knowing. I'm also getting this feeling of liberation, like the liberation to expand towards this thing you have your sight set on. Feels like you're standing strong and tall in your truth. Maybe you're accepting whatever this is. You've accepted that you want it as a part of your life. Let's see what other cards we have. The Rar. So I'm hearing you're moving forward with expansion. This card I always get sort of like a buildup of energy, of movement forward, and it's pointed directly at this card. I'm getting sort of full steam ahead on whatever this is. So maybe you've been waiting for this realization. Maybe you've been waiting on a path forward, and now that you see it, you're going to, if you don't see it yet in December, you're going to be seeing it, and it's going to be a very clear path forward, and your eyes are going to be open to exactly which way to go and all the different possibilities and manifestations that it can lead you to, whatever this is. I'm getting a feeling it has to do with like a life purpose more than a relationship. It's like maybe you've been struggling to see the way forward on something that you've wanted, or something that you intuitively known that you want to move forward with. And in December, it's going to be coming clear. You're going to see the way forward, and you're going to start planting the seeds that are going to branch out into the infinite possibilities that this manifestation can bring to you. I'm just getting this sense that you're gonna, once you see this, you're just gonna feel locked on and completely immersed in it, and you're just gonna, like again, it's just that full steam ahead feeling. So let's see what other cards you have. So next up you have Topsy Turvy. I'm getting whatever this new thing is going to completely change your life in a good way. I'm getting that you're going to be feeling this new sense of contentment, something that you've been looking for. I'm feeling a sort of, it's a mix of relief and also sort of childlike optimism. It's almost as if maybe you've been waiting a long time for this purpose or whatever this is to become clear, and the way to move forward to become clear. And in December it looks like it is becoming clear, and that's bringing in this really profound sense of relief, contentment and relief. That's what I keep feeling. I'm also feeling like there might be this purpose. You might see so many different opportunities that could happen from it that it might seem a little overwhelming. You might start to feel a little lost. So just be careful of that. But I mean, overall, I'm really just getting this feeling of in December, you're going to see the way forward on some sort of purpose that you've had or that you've wanted clarity on. You're going to see the path forward very clearly. It feels like you're going to be completely immersed in it, like your sole focus is going to be on moving forward with this. And in doing so, it could, be a little overwhelming, but it's nothing to really worry about, because more than being overwhelmed, what I get from this card is just this really, it's like a big sigh of relief. Just contentment, relief, optimism, very light, like a light feeling of happiness, joy. I think you've been wanting clarity on whatever this is for a while, and you're going to be getting it in December. So your next card is Chakma Wisdom. So this feels more like advice coming in now from your guides. I'm getting the sense that, in this illustration, this person does look like they're sort of feeling like their world is being turned upside down. I mean, his face is right side up and that face is upside down. And if you look at the topsy-turvy card, it's the same sort of thing, a bunch of wily eyes and upside down faces. So what I'm getting the sense of is that, this new path forward might be completely life-changing for you. The steps you have to take might be, it might just completely turn your world upside down. And I think the advice coming through from your guides is that when that starts happening, you might feel completely lost, maybe disconnected from the world or reality. But the advice is to keep following your heart. That'll keep you grounded. Yeah, I'm getting that you could be feeling really burdened from, with something that feels as life-changing as this, it's kind of impossible to not feel burdened. I'm just feeling when all this stuff is happening and you're making these changes, it might feel, like you're just sort of lost amidst everything that's going on. Like, I think you're going to understand now the way to move forward, but at the same time, it's going to feel like so many fundamental parts of your life are being uprooted that you're just going to be feeling disconnected, And I'm getting the sense that while that's going on, the best way to address it is to really remain focused on your heart center. Listening to your heart will keep you grounded. That's kind of what's coming through. Let's see what your last card is. Seven of Raphael. Time to make a decision, be clear on what you want, and take action. A need for detoxification. So yeah, I think this is the angels just saying, when you do start to feel overwhelmed, listen to your heart. Listening to your heart will help you make clear decisions. And when I say listen to your heart, I'm really talking about following your intuition. So overall, I think the message is that in December, you're going to be having clarity on whatever this new movement forward is, whether it be a life purpose or some sort of big manifestation that you've wanted and you've been working for, but you haven't been able to see the way forward. This month you're going to see the way forward, and that the whole process is going to be a lot smoother and a lot clearer for you if you listen to your intuition as it's happening and follow your heart. If you do that, you're going to feel contentment, relief. You're going to see everything with clarity. I'm getting this is going to happen. It's just, how easy you want to make it on yourself. Because if you start getting caught up in your head, you like a lot of doubts, fears, you know, and this feels like it's a big change. So with a big change, you know, constantly our ego is going to be challenging it and thinking, oh, well, this could happen, that could happen. And, you know, those thoughts turn into doubts, which turn into fears, which affect your emotional state. So, you know, this is going to, I think this clarity is going to be coming in no matter what. And then it's going to be like, okay, well, do you want to, you know, listen to your heart and your intuition and move forward, make the decision to move forward with this stuff, and just trust, have faith in the divine? Or do you want to make it harder on yourself and be caught up in your ego, letting your ego take over this moment and sort of instantly bring in these doubts and fears, which will make you feel lost and have your judgment clouded and have it make your world feel like it's being turned upside down, and you're gonna, you know, maybe feel more burdened. So it's funny because these two cards are like the reality of what's going on. So you are going to be getting this clarity. You are going to feel this energy and drive to move forward with it. But then it's like Spirit's saying, well, then it's, you know, that's happening no matter what. And then it's up to you whether you want to, you know, have faith, and it'll make this process easier and smoother, and you'll feel relief and contentment and joy in this manifestation. Or are you going to let your ego sort of, you know, rain on your parade a little bit? So the good news is, no matter what, I'm getting a feeling that you guys are going to be getting this clarity. And it's not even the bad news. It's just like Spirit's just saying, all right, you know, you're getting this gift, and then you get to decide, you know, whether you want to overthink it and then just sort of be burdened by all the negative things that you think could happen, or do you want to just remain in your heart space and stay away from all that disjointed overthinking and fear. So that's it for pile 1. If you liked it, you can comment, subscribe, like, and I hope to see you guys again soon. So with this card, I'm sort of getting the sense like you guys have really been through it. I'm getting the feeling like it's been really lonely for you guys. There's been a lot of hardships. Getting this sense like you haven't really been able to find your footing in your life recently, and you've kind of had to settle with that. And even though you've been going through all this, it's like you've accepted it and you're still hopeful. It's like the sense that you feel like everything's been taken from you, maybe even just your comfortability. But despite that, you're still making the conscious choice to be hopeful. It's interesting. It's like, even though you feel like you don't have any grounding, I'm getting this sense that you're feeling like, well, that's okay. I'll just make my own place to be, even if that's nothing. And I'll still have hope. Let's see what your next card is. The Dark Lady. Very intense. I get a lot of High Priestess energy off of this. I'm hearing through the dark times, through the darkness, you've gained beauty and grace. It's like the sense of, against all odds, you've gained power. You don't need anything else. Like this isolation, whatever that may mean to you, has brought in some sort of enlightenment and strength, and you've grown more than you could have without it. I'm hearing this new energy, this beauty or grace or power or whatever it is, it's affecting your 3D world now. It's like the outside world can't contain this powerful new energy of yours. I don't know how to, it's so strange. And I feel like you're aware of it. It's just difficult to explain this type of energy. It's like this it's like a new like spiritual grace and beauty and strength, and it's like it's so potent that it's like breaking other people's perceptions and realities. And I think people are very attracted to it. And I think you're very aware of that. And you're sort of, it's like you're proud. It's like you're proud that your growth is affecting people that way, because it's a testament to what you've been through and how strong you've become. Let's see what your next card is. And this is just so fascinating. In each one of these illustrations, it's a woman, and they all have like gray skin and wings. I don't know if you can see that here, but she has a wing as well. And none of them have anything. They don't have any clothes. It's dark around them and bare. They seem alone. So maybe you've been feeling alone in this process of spiritual transformation, which happens a lot for profound spiritual growth to happen. A lot of times isolation accompanies it. And that's what I'm feeling here. A huge spiritual transformation. Yeah, and the other interesting thing is they all have something around the crown of their head. She has a crown of flowers. It's like a half moon. These almost look like antlers, but it still looks like a crown. It goes all the way around. And then down here, she sort of has like a crown above her ears, and then there's like a swan's head that looks like it's coming right out of her crown behind her. So maybe this is what you've been going through, and in December you're going to be coming out of this. That's sort of what I'm getting with this last card, is that it's like you're awakening from this phase of isolation and spiritual growth and spiritual transformation. I mean, right now you might still be really going through the thick of it. I'm sort of getting this feeling like wake me when it's done. So I am sensing a lot of pain that you're either currently going through or you have gone through. But I think in December you're going to be reaping the rewards of everything you've gone through. The spiritual transformation is going to be worth it. Next up you have Remph, Angel of Time. I'm hearing that you're right now, or in December, you're going to be sort of transmuting and burning away the last bit of clearing that needs to happen to fully come out of this spiritual transformation. But it does feel like it's, if it's not right now, it will in December be at the very end of, it's like you're almost there. It's like there's just a little bit left to clear. And I get this feeling like you understand that. Like, it's just a matter of time before you reach this state. Like, you're almost there, and you know that it's just this little bit left. But it's almost like this character is, they're in the heavens. And again, we have this sort of half moon here, just like up here. And it's just like this sense of understanding that there's this last part that needs to be healed. And then it's just like, after that's done, you're going to fully embody this new divine spiritual energy that you've been cultivating by working through all the emotional pain. Let's see what the angel message is. 6 of Ariel. Material needs get fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways. Acts of kindness. Giving or receiving with a grateful heart. I think this is really the angels sort of commending you. At the beginning we talked about how she still seems hopeful and understanding despite having gone through so much anguish and feeling like she's had nothing. And, again, here we go. It's with the, she has that. She actually has, you can't see it, but she actually has flowers on the crown of her head with a halo behind her, and she has wings, just like we were talking about. And I think this is really the angels proud of you for staying so strong through all of this. I mean, it's like despite everything you've gone through, you're still going through. It's like this understanding, even if it's just intuitively, that all of this was necessary for your growth. And I think that takes a lot of wisdom, and it takes a lot of character. And I think the angels are sort of patting you on the back for that. And I think they're also saying, if you've been worried about your physical reality, your 3D well-being, because remember we talked about how it seems like sort of everything was taken. I think that's going to be changing as well. I think the angels are sort of saying, because you've been able to work through these emotional pains and healing that needed to be done with such grace and gratefulness and understanding, it's going to make manifesting in the 3D world that much easier after this is passed. And I'm just kidding, you might start manifesting like crazy after this. So if that is something you've been worried about, I think your angels are sort of saying to approach that aspect of your life with the same trust and faith and gratefulness and hope that you've had during this spiritual growth that you've had to go through. And in doing so, if you just allow yourself to follow your intuition, your 3D needs are going to be met in divine timing and in the perfect way. So that's all I have for you, Group 2. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it and you want to leave a comment or a like or subscribe, I'll be doing more of these kinds of videos, and I appreciate you guys watching. Okay, if you chose group number 3, first card up is the Caden. So right away I'm getting that you have a lot of spirit guides or angels watching over you right now. Just a lot of protection. And I'm sort of getting the sense that you're sort of doing things right now that are healing your inner child, or you're carrying out things that you wanted to do as a kid. So maybe like passions from when you're a kid. But either right now or in December, you're going to be rediscovering passions or activities that really speak to your inner child and are really satisfying to the core of who you are. So, maybe as a kid you loved to paint or something, and now you're just rediscovering that passion. Something like that. But it can be anything. And I think that's why there's so many angels and spirits around you right now. I think they're one, protecting you, and I think the other part is by just doing these activities, your energy is vibrating on such a high level that it just naturally attracts in these higher vibrational spirits. And I think whatever this rediscovered activity or passion is, it's going to be bringing you a lot of joy. Just that carefree, innocent joy that you had as a child. I think that's something that you're rediscovering and reintroducing to your life that maybe you lost. I'm also getting a sense that you're completely trusting in this unfolding process of this, and you're also trusting this process to the divine. So if you've been looking for confirmation on that, this is it, because you do have a lot of spirits, angels, spirit guides protecting you during this process and helping this joy bloom and grow. And again, if you're not going through this right now, this could be something that's happening for you in December. So let's see what your next card is. Oh, isn't that funny? That sort of looks like the same leaf right there. But again, it's just, these two people have the same sort of smile. It's just sort of this pure, relaxed, innocent joy. And I'm also getting the sense that whatever this is that's coming in, this passion of yours, it's going to bring you a lifetime of happiness. And it's going to last you until old age. And even then, it's funny. It's like they have the same smile. So it's like, even when you're old, it's going to bring you the same amount of happiness it did when you were a kid. Let's see what the next card is. I'm getting the feeling you've had a hard time finding this. So maybe your whole life you've sort of struggled to have this sort of passion. And I think you've been actively looking for it, and you just maybe hadn't realized it yet. And I think in December, if you haven't already, in December, that's what's going to be coming in, is this epiphany of, this was my passion all along. This is what I've been looking for to feel fulfilled in my soul. I get the feeling like maybe you've been scared that you were never going to find this, or you thought that this was all life had to offer, and it's felt like a burden up until this point. I think all of that is changing now. And I'm hearing realizing your truth. So if you felt like life has been a huge burden so far, like you haven't ever felt like you've had this activity or this passion or something that really called to your soul, I think that's going to be changing in December. I think you're going to be realizing what it is. Yeah, I just feel like you've felt recently, or maybe even now, like you've just been carrying this big burden, and I think you've sort of seen it as life in general, but I think that's coming towards an end. I mean, it's just so interesting because it's like this complete dichotomy here. It's like this exhaustion, feeling like this is it, this is how the rest of life is going to go, as this burden. Like you've sort of given up on the possibility of that this joy or passion that other people talk about would be a reality for you, and that you had just sort of accepted that life was a burden that you were going to carry into old age. And then it's like, boom, complete opposite here, where it's just complete, innocent, relaxed joy that's coming from your soul. So, I mean, in order, I would almost put this card in front of these two, because it's like, this is sort of how you are right now, and how you thought life was going to be and end. But then you have this epiphany moment coming in where you realize what this lost joy was. You know, it's funny, it's almost like I'm getting that sort of energy of like retirement. If you've ever known anyone that's been working a 9 to 5 job that they've hated and then they retire, it's a similar sort of energy like that. Like it's going from almost despair, I mean, certainly pessimism on how life is going to turn out. And then all of a sudden it just goes from to the complete opposite end. Let's see what your Angelarium card is. Angel of Death, Azrael. I gotta look at this for a second. So I'm sort of getting the sense like you felt like you've tried everything. You've gone in every which way. You have researched all the things that you thought would make your life better or bring you happiness. Maybe you've asked for help from many different people. You've looked for guidance. But I think what you're going to be discovering in December was that answer to what would fulfill you and make you happy was right in front of you the whole time. And I know that sounds cliche, but I think before it just wasn't time yet. And especially since Azrael, Angel of Death. So I think, it's not death like in a bad sense. When we're talking about energy here, a lot of times when death is mentioned, it's talking about what needs to fall away from your life in order for better things to come in. So I'm sort of getting the sense like you had to try all of those other things because all those other things had to fall away for this epiphany to come in, that the answer was right in front of you right there. And in December, I think that's what's going to be happening for you, is you're going to have this realization of what it is that you've been looking for. And maybe you're also going to understand that you had to look through all those other things first. You had to try those other things first and look for guidance other places, help other places, and that might have been the only way you would have found your way back to whatever this truth is. So what's the message from your angels? Queen of Gabriel. You can do anything right now. Go after what you want, the ability to attract helpful people. I'm getting that whatever this is could also bring you a lot of prosperity. Maybe once you start pursuing this passion, some soul family will come in as well that align with this, with the vibration of this, whatever this is for you. But I think the main message here is that whatever this is for you, you can do anything with it. So if you want to make money off of it, you can. If if it's something like playing guitar or something, you could become the best at it. It's a thing like that. It's like the possibilities are endless with whatever this is for you, because at your core, it's part of who you are. It's part of what was meant for you. And so I think it's just saying, like, you could have anything with this. You could be this queen or king. She has this looks like the most luxurious card in the deck. She's like in this throne room. Looks like she's sitting on a throne of gold with a staff of gold. And I think the other message here is that when you have this epiphany, don't be afraid to pursue it and see where it can take you. Because I think it could take you anywhere. That's the main message of that. So Pile 3, I hope you enjoyed your reading. That is going to wrap it up. You could like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll be doing more readings like this. And thanks for watching.